Yo, beautiful family and friends. Welcome to another video. How are we? Doing good, I hope. I'm sipping some hot chocolate with my own mug today. This is the Om symbol. So you already know I'm about to get deep on you because I was just thinking about humiliation. Just thinking about humiliation and the way that everyone tries to avoid it like the plague. They're so fearful of being publicly humiliated, publicly made wrong, or just making a mistake that everyone judges and shames you for. Oh, the shame and the guilt. But what if I told you that humiliation is an art form, a spiritual art? And Hollywood is hip to this. You see what we call humiliation rituals in the media all the time. And it's when celebrities fall from grace and their ego gets dragged and they've, done something and they're being judged very critically by the public. In the act of changing and growing in the public after such a hard fall, you actually rise higher to new heights. And so that's why you don't really have to run from being humiliated. You will rise above it and everyone will see how strong you are. It's very rare that people just fall all the way off after being humiliated. And so you don't have to worry about that. Let them sip the tea about you, and in the background, in the meantime, you get to just grow, because the word humiliation has humility as a root word, and the etymology of it has humus in it, which means earth. And so you're actually being brought down to earth when you're humiliated, and that's okay, because there's parts of us that are still unhealed and that need grounding. But it's never anything to run from. It's actually a strength, a superpower. Truth is, humility is a gift. It tells you who you are without the mask, without the projections or the performance or anything like that, the audience, the titles. You get to find out the real you. When you're humbled through humiliation and you still choose to love yourself, that is the sweet spot where you feel free, true freedom. Speaking of earth, let me put it like this. Earth will make you humble. It'll do its own humiliation ritual. And because it has what's called the Schumann resonance, which is the frequency that it gives off, and at times those frequencies will spike very high, and it's been scientifically proven that when that spike happens, it affects us in a real way, because the frequency is electromagnetic, and we have that type of connection with Earth as electromagnetic human beings. And so as the Earth is rocking and quaking with these frequencies that the sensitive and the intuitive humans can really feel, you'll notice that you're not able to control your anger or your frustration, the chaos that is around you. You're not able to keep your center and your peace. And this is because we're all being stripped of our pride and our identity and our comfort, so that we can all align with a larger system and be rebuilt in a way that is like the earth wants to level up. And so we all have no choice but to level up with her. And that's exactly what happened over the last weekend. I don't know about y'all, but I was mad. I was frustrated. I was just real irritable. Like I was hangry all the time, but I would eat and I would still have that feeling like I needed a Snickers bar, you know what I'm trying to say? No, but it was real. And I don't know if you felt that. You can leave a comment if you did, but for me and my partner, we were just butting heads, and we were just acting up all weekend. But then it was interesting because we're both so spiritually aware, so we were able to know what is going on, why am I so pissed, or why does it feel like we're just, picking fights with one another? And I did some research, wanted to find out what was going on in the cosmos. And I discovered that over the weekend, there was a peak of the Schumann resonance. Like, it's usually around 7.83 hertz, right? But it had reached a peak of like 11 hertz. And so no wonder we were feeling so much anger, easily getting triggered, feeling uncomfortable, or feeling just like overall like running away and hiding under a blanket or something, because it was like shaking that karmic dust off of everybody and saying it's time to get rid of that. And some of us may have been trying to do that work on our own, but the earth has a way of like forcing it to happen. And I just found that so fascinating that the earth has its own humiliation ritual that it puts us through. And if you felt it, you're in alignment with the earth and leveling up. And so just ride with that. There's a method to the madness. Let me show you this pattern. You may have noticed that a truth comes up first. It's some kind of truth that makes you uncomfortable to hear. It gives you some kind of negative emotion or even a trigger to hear the truth about yourself that someone else is delivering to you, or that you come across on your own somehow, some way. But the first sign is a harsh truth. And then the next part is what I call the crucible, where you're going to be really ground up by that truth. And the truth is getting to you deep so that you can say, what is this about? What is this attached to? Why do I feel this way? It's a way to just kind of wake you up and make you do the introspection that is needed to identify why you're so sensitive about the truth, whatever that may be. And then you must flip it. So if you want to flip the humiliation ritual, that's how you're going to get ahead. The easiest way to do it is to recognize your ego in all of it, which is who you think you are, who you tell yourself that you are, because it's a bit of a false person. It's not the real you. There is a authentic and realer version of you that exists than your ego layer that you show to the outside world. So realizing that your ego is getting out of hand, it's doing a little bit too much, is controlling the car. Your higher self needs to be the driver, but the ego is hopping on the lap of your higher self and like hijacking the car and going a little bit too far out of bounds. And so the higher self wants to get you back on track, and that's how it does it, through this ego death, if you will, or at least a harsh rebuking of whatever you thought you were or thought you were doing. Like, no, not that. That's not it, And so you're humbled and you come back to yourself and you decide to make some changes. Hopefully you outgrow whatever foolish behavior your ego was up to, and that's when a new beginning or a growth period can happen. And of course it's akin to a butterfly transformation as well. When you're going through the crucible, you can look at it as the chrysalis time of growing inside of the cocoon. I just thought I would share that because for some it was a crazy weekend of high emotions, but if you felt that, don't beat yourself up, please. It was partially due to the Schumann resonance, as I explained earlier, and so we can't control that. So just go with the ebbs and flows. Realize that sometimes it's not even you, it's the earth, it's us all needing to go through these shifts and changes together. And so don't feel bad about humiliation or shame or guilt that you go through. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay. Everything is okay. And everything's perfect. So until next time, I will leave you to have a wonderful and positive day, and I'll see you next time. Peace, fam. Love you.